Hello and welcome back to the Chelmsford News Show. I'm Tom Christiano. Well, I'm very excited because today I'm going to get to talk to our new Executive Director at the Chelmsford Library, Lesley Kimball. Thank you for being on the show, Lesley.
Great. Thanks so much for asking me, Tom.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I've been looking forward to talking with you, but we wanted to give you a few months to settle in first, right? Remember? Because I talked to you about it maybe a long time ago. So when did you start, by the way? What month was it?
So I started as the library director in March of this year.
2023.
Yep. I did come on board as one of the assistant directors last July. So I've been working inside the library for a year and a little bit.
Really? I didn't know that. So you got all that experience at first.
Yeah. Yep.
And the town got to know you, and they must have loved you like we all do because they hired you as the executive director, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I feel very honored to have been selected.
I could imagine. It's a very wonderful, prestigious post within the community. There's only one executive director, and it's generally, I think, a very pleasant position, too. Is it being in the library in any position, I think. But it's a wonderful job. I love the library, obviously. I was a former library trustee, as you know.
Thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. So you didn't just start here in the career in the library. You had other positions, right, in the library. But maybe we could first talk about your interest in libraries in general and why you decided to study library science in college.
Sure. So I always like to go back. My love for libraries comes from being a child, and my mother was a big reader, and we would go to the library every single week. And her rule, once I got to be a preschooler-ish, was I could check out as many books as I could carry myself.
Wow.
So that was my only limit, and I could choose to carry them. I could be as creative as I wanted to. I could bring a wagon, I could bring a backpack.
Really? Oh my God.
So that's how, so I continually was trying to find ways, being a big reader, to how do I check out a few more books? How do I check out a few more books? How can I carry them all?
That's fantastic.
So grew up loving libraries. Really, it didn't occur to me. Sometimes as a kid, you're thinking, oh, what do I want to be when I grow up? Librarian never popped into my mind. I was doing my undergraduate degree, an English major, which was wonderful, but really wondering out loud, with my parents, I'm just not sure. I don't know, what I want to do. I don't know where I want to go. And one day, my mom, the big reader, said to me, have you thought about, maybe becoming a librarian, working in a library? And wow, what a thought. And I was so fortunate, the library director in my hometown where I grew up, which was Salem, New Hampshire. I went in and spoke with him, and he said, hey, I'll design an internship for you for the summer, and you can try out all the different jobs we do here and see what you think, if something's a good fit. And I fell in love with it.
This was while you were in college, right?
While I was getting, my undergraduate degree.
And what school was that?
I went to the University of New Hampshire. Go Wildcats.
UNH. Yay, nice, wonderful. So that director of the Salem Library, that he or she did a wonderful favor for you and to help you try out all these different positions. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he was a wonderful man. I have so much respect for him, but I appreciated how welcoming he was and how he embraced my interest.
Do you keep in touch with him at all?
Unfortunately, we lost him a number of years ago, but we did keep in touch. I let him know, which school. I went to Simmons College to get my Master's of Library Science, and we talked about that. He was a Simmons alum himself.
Are they noted for library science in Simmons?
Yes. Yep. One of the best schools in the country.
Wow, for library science.
Yep.
Wow. And so once you graduated, were you able to get a position in a library shortly thereafter?
Yeah, I actually was able to get a position before I got my degree as someone who was studying. So I started my career as a children's librarian, which was wonderful.
And where was this, New Hampshire?
Yep, that was in Pelham, New Hampshire.
Nice.
Yep, so that was a wonderful start, and from there I just continued to grow. I decided to take on some working with teens and doing some reference work, and then moved into being a library director in Stratham, New Hampshire. Where I
Wow,
was
you got a
for
library
most of my
director
career.
position within a few years. How many years was that?
Yeah, it was probably about, let me think. It was probably about 4 or 5 years into my
Really?
my professional career.
Congratulations, that's amazing to start your professional career and 4 or 5 years later become the executive director of a library is fantastic.
Yeah, it was very
My
exciting.
God. So how many years were you in that position and where did you go next?
Well, I was actually in that position for 23 years.
Really? Oh, you loved it, I guess.
I did
Or they
love
loved
it.
you too.
And we were able to really grow. I was able to grow that library. I had a great team, wonderful municipal partnership that we worked with. So there always was new challenges, and I was able to be very creative and that you stay longer in a place
Yes.
when you're able to continue to grow
Yes,
and
and
be excited about what you're doing every single day. And then my next position was here.
That's been,
So,
wow, what
yeah.
a career. So you're rapidly rising up the chain and then go to a bigger library, which I think this is, what town was that in where you were the exec?
That was
Was it-
Stratham, New Hampshire.
Where's Stratham? I
Small
don't even
town.
know what that is.
It's just about a little bit south of Portsmouth,
Oh.
New Hampshire. So it's probably about a 20-minute drive south from Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
To here? Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
Stratham. Yep,
Oh,
so Stratham
I'm
is that
sorry.
close. That's okay. Stratham
20
is that
minutes,
close
yeah,
to Portsmouth.
From Portsmouth. And then, could I ask what town you live in?
I live in Portsmouth.
Oh, it's by the
Hampshire.
coast, right? And
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta go there more often.
Right,
It's
right
a
on the
beautiful
coast.
town, right?
It is, yeah.
Oh my God, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. You're so lucky to live in New Hampshire with, good state and lower taxes and to some extent, no sales tax. I shop at Costco all the time, but not just for that, but it's closer to Chelmsford. But that's fantastic though, and then you became our director about March of this year, 2020, so about 6 months now. Mm-hmm. And how do you like it so far, being the executive director here in Chelmsford?
I love it.
Hey, all right.
I love it. I love every single day. It's wonderful to wake up and be able to come here to work. As you know very, very well, Chelmsford is a wonderful community.
Yes, yes.
It's so engaged and so interested. I look around and I look at all the volunteerism and people's support for education, people's support for the library. It's a really vibrant place to be every day. And the library has been built to be, right in that mix, to be a real active participant in the community and serve everyone here. So it's great. I love it.
That's fantastic. I must admit, I never had a job in the corporate world where I loved it. I mean, I did well, had offices and secretaries quite often, and so I did well. It's just that I'm cut out more in an artistic way, to be free, no bureaucracy, nobody telling me what to do. And so I became an independent investor about 25 years ago. And that's what I love, being independent and free and doing what I want to do every day.
There you go.
And it's best, of course, when I do well, which isn't always the case when you're an investor. But I've learned a lot over 25 years, as you could imagine, through making mistakes. That's the best way to learn, making mistakes.
Absolutely.
So you have so many programs here. But first, why don't we talk about the people you work with here in the library? How do you like the staff and the other personnel, the part-timers, the volunteers that come and work with you every day?
It's wonderful. I mean, it was one of the top things that attracted me to the Chelmsford Public Library, was just knowing how professional the team is here, how dedicated they are to library service, the real innovation, the number of ideas. You walk through the library, I talk with staff, and people are just blowing my mind because there's all this growth and ideas, and it's all aimed at, what does our community need? We're looking around Chelmsford and we're hearing what people are looking for. How can we help with that?
Yes,
What
yes.
kinds of things can the library do that are new and exciting?
Yes.
So working with folks and having the support from our volunteers, just working with people, again, every day who are excited to be here and find what they do to be very meaningful and rewarding. That's energizing.
Yes.
So I feel really, really fortunate to be able to every single day work with these particular folks.
And you are fortunate because a lot of people work in companies and they don't enjoy it and they don't enjoy the people they work with, etc. Not everybody, but I'd say most people are like that. They just can't wait to get out of work.
I hope most people are like
Okay, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I also like coming into the library because everybody's so friendly and they do seem to enjoy their job so much and they're always so helpful. It's really a wonderful library that we have here in Chelmsford. And what did we remodel about 23 years ago or something? Had the big extension to the library?
Yep,
addition.
that was in 2000, which is hard to believe. I know a lot of times you think, oh, the new library, because it's hard to believe 20 years.
20, yeah, 3 years or something. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what I love? The old library, because I love classical architecture. Mm-hmm. And I might have mentioned that on Facebook periodically, because I've taken many pictures of the library, and I take pictures of the old part, classical part that was built in around 1894-95 is when the Adams Library was first dedicated and opened. And the classical architecture is just, most people may not notice it, but the arched windows and the beautiful entranceway over there that we don't use anymore as the main entrance, but it's beautiful with the big granite columns and right? Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it is beautiful. It's wonderful, and not everywhere are libraries able to keep that original incorporated into a renovation or an expansion. So it's such a testament to how Chelmsford feels about history and the library's respect for that was able to be part of the design. But
thank God.
It's wonderful to go into that space. You just can feel the history, and it is beautiful.
And I photographed it from the inside as well, and I love looking up at what rotunda is it called? The rotunda over there, the round roof-like structure. And inside, even, it's beautiful. It's well maintained too, by the way. The library always looks well painted and always clean and beautiful, right? And
and that's our internal staff, as well as the town's facilities department and Department of Public Works. They just really care for the buildings in town, and just. They do. They keep everything working well, looking great.
Yes, they do.
Again, for the people of Chelmsford. So
even
we're really fortunate.
In this room, too, I could see the painting on the wall. Everything is perfect, Everything is clean. And I'm sure that's attributable to you, too, the way you help manage the staff that you work with. And but in that room where the rotunda is, right, you have a lot of nice magazines. People may not read them as much as they used to before streaming and the internet and everything. I'm not sure as many people go in there and read the newspapers. They have a lot of newspapers in the little room next to that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. People still read a lot of magazines. But we also have digital magazines now, too, so we see those getting used.
And how does...
Read the magazine right on your tablet or your computer or your phone.
And how does that work? Could you tell us, do they go to the library website?
And they're going to use, there's an app called Libby, which also has ebooks and audiobooks, digital, that people can use. But one of the things that has in it is digital magazines. And it's the same experience of a magazine. It's the full color pages. You flip like this, as if you're flipping the magazine pages. I'll tell you, one of the things that I use that for is if I find myself in an office where I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, yes, yeah.
There's often not magazines around the way there used to be in some offices, and I'm able to just pull one up right on my phone and
It's
do that while I'm
fantastic.
waiting.
And the ads are in there too, just like the regular.
The ads are. I mean, I'd be
Oh,
okay if
some
the
people
ads
like-
weren't.
Yeah, I know. I don't like ads on videos, but sometimes in the magazine stuff, I don't mind looking at them. In fact, I've saved a lot. I have Fortune magazines from the 1970s that I've saved, and one reason is, and I don't have much time to look at them, but if I did, I love looking at the ads, like the early computers and everything. It's just amazing. The cars at that time. So the ads, when you look at something old, in fact, I've done it here. You have National Geographics going back to like 1900 or something.
Yeah.
And did you ever look at the ads there?
It
in
is
the
fun to
1920s
look
and
back.
30s, the cameras and everything,
Yes.
the new, the movie camera or the travel ads or whatever. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But so I like looking at those old magazines here too. But the new ones too, I check out sometimes. But I should look at them online too once in a while. I do order books online, which is very convenient. Everybody knows how to do that, I'm pretty sure at home. Books and DVDs. Mm-hmm. Not that people probably aren't taking out the DVDs as much as they used to because now they're streaming, right? At least I see that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Those and audiobooks, physical audiobooks, we see people shifting. There's not less usage, it's just more usage in that digital format
Yes.
and a little bit less in the physical format. It's still a bit of a balance, but the great thing is we also have streaming video and we have streaming music that people can access for free with their library card.
Oh, you have streaming video here from the library?
Yep.
And where do they go to access that, did you say?
I definitely would recommend people go to the website.
The website.
Because for video, we have both Hoopla and Canopy.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
expect that people will remember all these names that I'm saying on the show.
Okay.
But at any time, too, if you're in the library, our reference and information folks help people get started with these things all the time.
Yeah.
There were just two people out at the reference desk on our way in here who
I saw
were
that,
getting a
yeah.
little mini lesson in
I saw that,
how to
which
do
is
that. So we
wonderful.
encourage people, we can talk you through it over the phone or stop by, but I think for a lot of people, if you just go to the website, you'll see everything that's available and be able to get started.
Yes, in fact, I was just at your website. Well, I go there often, but just because I was interested in getting a museum pass for Fruitlands, which on Sunday it looks like the weather's going to be good. And I'm thinking of driving my little sports car to Fruitlands. I'm planning to now. So I was able to reserve a pass here at the library. And because it's a Sunday, and the library's still closed on Sundays, right? Probably.
We'll reopen on Sundays, October 8th.
Pretty soon, like in a week or two.
Very soon, exactly.
Because we're taping this at the end of September. So because of that, I think I could pick up my pass on Friday because it said if the library's closed on a certain day, you could pick it up 2 days before then. Mm-hmm. So I'll pick up the pass, go to the Fruitlands, and I'll buy something over there and we'll spend money. My friend Bethany Peck has some of her artwork over there too.
Oh, nice.
But I've been there many times. So anyway, the Museum Pass is another wonderful program you have, right?
Yeah.
You might want
And-
to talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't give you the number off the top of my head, but if people go, you'll be amazed at how many we have. We're so fortunate. Our Friends of the Library group. I don't know if you're familiar with the Friends of the
I
Library.
remember. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
I am so glad to hear that. So our Friends of the Library donate all of those museum passes. It is quite expensive.
Yes.
It's completely worth it to be able
Yes.
to offer it to the community, but our Friends of the Library support that and pay for every single one of the museum passes to make those available to
And
people
one-
in the community.
Yes, which is wonderful. And one way they raise the money for that is through their book sales every year.
Yes.
And are we going to have them twice a year now that the pandemic is pretty much over?
Exactly, yep. So
Good.
now we're back to that twice a year schedule. The fall one is coming up, and I have to look at a calendar, but it's
Okay.
around the 13th, 14th, 15th
Of-
of October.
Oh,
So
it's
that's
coming up very
So
soon.
people should be,
Wow.
check the website. website, and you'll see that on the calendar.
And
And we encourage people, it'll be over at Town Hall.
At the gym, as we
At
usually
the
have
gym.
lately.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Thousands and thousands of great books.
Yes, and sometimes DVDs and paperbacks, and what else we have there? Music sometimes, or whatever. So it's fantastic.
It
Gee.
is fantastic.
So let's talk a little more about what we have here at the libraries. We have, on the other side of the library where the rotunda is, we have the McCarthy Meeting Room. Or that's what it's called, right? McCarthy
Yes,
Meeting Room.
yep.
And so what do you have over there? Movies and things, right?
Yep, on Saturdays we have new movie matinees.
Yeah.
So we encourage people to come for that.
Which are free?
They're completely free.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Those are at 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Other things you brought up earlier, Dads and
Dads and
Donuts,
Donuts, yeah.
which is so popular. That's a monthly program, story time.
Mostly,
Moms can come too,
Okay,
and
yes.
grandparents. Everybody's welcome, but
Oh, good, yes.
it's called Dads and Donuts, and
yeah, I like that
really
title.
donuts there.
And then, but you have a lot of, with the parents bringing in their young children for various programs, right?
Yeah, we have the Spooky Story Contest is happening in the month of October, so we always
what-
get, I think we might have gotten 300 entries
Really?
last year. Yeah.
At the,
Yeah.
where does that meet?
So that's the kids write their stories, and then they bring them in, and there's some judging, and then there's an event where kids will read their stories out loud, and it's such a great way to celebrate Halloween.
Yes,
in
it
the
is.
month of October.
So there's so many programs that you have at the McCarthy Meeting Room. And
All right,
so-
let me tell you something fun that's
Yes.
coming up, because I really want to talk about it.
Yeah, please.
A couple of fun things. One is we're actually having mini golf in the library. So
Really?
not only in the McCarthy room, but throughout the library. That's happening in October 21st, so
Oh.
people need to get that on their calendars. We have another Fix-It clinic, which we just
Oh, yeah.
had one this past weekend, where people can bring things that they need to get repaired, and they want to learn a little bit themselves about how they might repair it. Small electrical devices, watches, things like that. We had one just this past weekend, and fixed more than 50 items for folks.
Nice.
Which is great. And then we have another one of those coming up on the 5th of November. And then, really exciting.
Could I ask where that's going to be?
That'll be,
the
Fix
same-
It Clinic will be in the McCarthy room.
Oh, the McCarthy Room. Because the
Oh,
last
you know
one we
what?
had at the senior center, right?
And
But-
I think it is at the senior
Oh,
center
okay,
again.
either way.
Thank you for remembering
Oh, no,
that.
that's fine. Yeah.
Again,
And then-
it's on the website. And then the apple pie contest is coming back.
We're having another, hey!
That's coming back. That's
when's-
very exciting.
Yeah,
That's
when's that
happening
gonna be?
on Sunday the 12th of November.
12th of November,
So,
the apple.
yeah.
And people could make their apple pies, and it's like a contest or whatever, but.
Exactly,
And other
there'll
people
be
could
some
come in
judging.
and then sample the pies or have a piece afterwards,
Exactly.
after the judging.
Exactly. So that's really exciting that we get to bring that back.
We have so many great things in the library, and then, so you move a little over to McCarthy, you have the children's room. So who's the children's librarian? I met her a little while ago, she's a very nice person.
Yeah, so Marty Mason is our new department head in youth services, and she's been working here at the library. Again, she's been one of our children's librarians for about 5 years, and when that position opened up, she was able to get promoted into that, and we're just thrilled.
Oh, she's one, when I met her recently, a couple of weeks ago, you have a nice rock garden outside the library at the, what's it called, Scoboria Park?
Yep, Scoboria.
Scoboria.
Yep.
Park. Everybody should go and see what's done over there too. Beautiful. In fact, I have a bench, or it's a donation in my will or whatever, but we'll see what happens with that. But so all these people came, including myself. We brought rocks that we had painted. People could take them. I hope they take my rocks, by the way, and others. But so I met her there because she was there, and she took photos of our group and everything. We were honoring our friend Sandy Rainey, who passed away.
That's
And so Marty helped with that, and I'm sure she's doing a great job as a children's librarian.
She is. She is.
So then downstairs here, you have so much. We only have a couple of minutes left, but first of all, you have the reference. You want to talk about the reference desk for a minute? What they do there? And
Sure. And I definitely think of it as an information and help desk, because all day long they're connecting people to get answers that they're looking for, helping people with technology, making sure that people are able to do the things they need to do to get through our crazy, busy, complicated lives.
Yes.
So they are, and as you mentioned, friendly and welcoming.
Yes.
They're so approachable. They're so knowledgeable, which is great. And then we have all the study rooms. We're in one of our small meeting rooms right now, which people can reserve, and we have wonderful study rooms that if people are doing some work from home and you need a quiet spot, or you're doing a telehealth appointment, or you're studying or tutoring, those are all available for people to reserve.
And how do they reserve them, Lesley?
So we recommend you go online and put a request in. A lot of people will call, or we'll just stop in.
I see.
Here in the library.
Call or check online or stop in.
Exactly.
To reserve. So there's great rooms. One room I'd like to talk about particularly is your history room or whatever, over on the left here from where we are now.
Yeah.
I love that room because I love the history of Chelmsford, and we can see annual reports going back many, many years. All kinds of history about the town of Chelmsford. If you're interested, you could go to that room here on the lower level of the library.
Exactly.
And check that out.
That's
and you
like
can reserve that room.
The old ads, when you look through those old town reports,
Yes,
those are wonderful
They
to
are.
read about what was happening in 1940 in the town.
Even in Chelmsford, and I love that too, because a lot of times we have on Facebook Throwback Thursday, and I posted a lot about like Skip's restaurant, which we used to have here, and the menus from like 1955, $1.25 for a big chicken dinner and everything, or 50 cents for a toasted cheese sandwich or whatever. I love looking when they have the prices there of that.
That's fun, yeah.
So Lesley, I can't believe it. Our time is zipped by already. And, so I'm glad, first of all, glad to talk to you. You're a wonderful person. I'm so glad you were selected to be our library executive director.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll continue to do a great job. Hopefully you'll be here like 23 years like you were here at the other position. And so you love it. And is there anything else quickly, that you'd like to mention? We have another minute about that we haven't covered yet about the library or the position.
Just I would say two things
Yes.
that we're really, really proud of. Our PopUp Library, which people will see
yes.
around town. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a truck that opens up on the sides, and it has great collections, new books, kids' books. So you may see that around town. There's a schedule of that online. And then our McKay branch just reopened.
Right, I met you over
officially.
there about 6 months ago, whatever it was.
Exactly. So we had a reopening in May, and then we had a great grand reopening party in
Yes.
July. And so we're really excited about that. It's open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We encourage people. It's such a wonderful neighborhood
Yes.
library, and it's had a refresh, and we're just excited about things. And we're going to start doing programs there too, so people should keep
What
their
type
eyes
of
open for
programs?
that. We'll do probably story times,
Oh.
maybe some movies, probably
Nice.
some educational, some gardening kinds of topics and things like that.
Fantastic.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot happening there.
And every summer, like this past summer, you had a number of musical, was it Wednesdays generally?
Yep, Wednesday
They
evenings.
start about 6:30 or
concerts.
something. I didn't make one this year, which is too bad. I'm getting lazy in my old age, I guess.
shame
But
on you.
yeah,
Next summer.
Next summer. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the book sale. I love going there and just seeing all my library friends and everything. Like Lynn has been volunteering for so long, and so many wonderful people. Marty has done a great job. Well, but thank you so much, Lesley, first of all, for being on the show. I appreciate the time you've given us today. Hopefully everybody in Chelmsford will watch the show to get to know you better. I think if they do watch it, they'll get to know what a wonderful, well-educated person you are, and what a great job you're doing here as the executive director of the Chelmsford Library.
Oh, you're so kind. And I hope people will come in and now that you know me a little bit, come on in and say hello.
And say hello to Lesley and all the other workers here. Thank you very much, Lesley.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for watching the show. Ciao.